Listen to me. You've been waking up, and before your feet even hit the floor, the world already has its hands on you. Your phone is buzzing. The news is screaming. People pulling at your energy before you even have a chance to breathe. And you wonder why you feel tired before the day even starts. You wonder why it feels like life is running you instead of you running it. But I'm telling you right now, you're 6 minutes away from changing that. 6 minutes. That's it. Not 6 hours. Not 6 days. 6 minutes to take control back. 6 minutes to set the tone. 6 minutes to tell the day how it's going to go instead of letting the day tell you. Some of you, you've been waiting for a miracle. You've been waiting for motivation to hit you in the middle of the day. But the truth is, if you don't win your morning, you don't win your life. You've been waking up on defense, reacting to everything. I'm telling you, today you flip the script. Today you wake up on offense. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here to give you the exact steps. 4 simple, powerful moves that if you give me the next 6 minutes, you will never look at your mornings the same way again. But you gotta lean in. You gotta be all in. Because the next 6 minutes, they might just be the 6 minutes that change your life. The first thing you've got to understand is this: the way you start your day is the way you live your life. I'm not talking about coffee. I'm not talking about scrolling Instagram. I'm talking about the first thought you have the moment your eyes open. That thought is the seed. And if you plant the wrong seed, don't be surprised when you don't like the fruit you harvest by the end of the day. Most of you, the first thing you do when you wake up is react. The alarm goes off and immediately you groan. You complain. You tell yourself, I'm tired. And before you even put one foot on the ground, you've already told your body, your mind, your spirit that today is going to be a struggle. You've already agreed with defeat. You've already agreed with weakness. And you wonder why, by noon, you've got no energy left. You wonder why your attitude is short. You wonder why your goals feel heavier than they did yesterday. I'm telling you, you've got to take back those first seconds. The first 60 seconds belong to you, not your phone, not your problems, not your fears. The first 60 seconds are when you set the thermostat for your entire day. Not a thermometer, a thermostat. You don't just measure the temperature, you set it. When I wake up, I don't let my body lead. I don't let my feelings lead. I let my decisions lead. The first thought I put in my mind is intentional. I tell myself exactly who I am and exactly what I'm about to do today. I am built for this. I am not average. Today, I am moving with purpose. Today, I will not be stopped. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if yesterday was rough. I don't care if my bank account doesn't look right. I don't care if people doubted me. The moment I open my eyes, I tell my day where it's going. I don't let it tell me. Some of you have been waking up, and the first voice you hear is not your own. You let social media speak to you before you speak to yourself. You let the news inject fear into you before you've injected faith into yourself. And that's why you keep feeling powerless. That's why it feels like life is happening to you instead of through you. You've got to understand, your mind is most open, most vulnerable, most programmable in those first minutes of the day. It's like wet cement. You can shape it, you can mold it, or you can let the world stomp all over it and leave footprints you never wanted. And once it dries, it's hard to change. You've got to shape it before it sets. I'm not telling you this because it sounds good. I'm telling you this because I've lived it. I've woken up on both sides of this coin. I know what it feels like to roll out of bed, already feeling behind. I know what it feels like to open my eyes and be weighed down by yesterday's failures before today even has a chance. And I also know what it feels like to take control, to wake up and immediately speak life into myself, to claim my identity, to decide before the day even starts that I'm going to win. This isn't about positive thinking. This isn't about ignoring your problems. This is about deciding that your problems don't get to be the first thing you greet in the morning. This is about telling your problems, you can wait. I've got something to say to myself first. So, tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you answer a text, before you even get out of bed, I want you to own your first thought. I want you to speak something into your day that's bigger than your excuses. I want you to declare something over your life that's bigger than your fears. You say, I'm grateful for this day. You say, I have what it takes. You say, today is mine. And you say it like you believe it. You say it until you believe it. You say it until every cell in your body feels it. Because if you don't, your day will get hijacked. It will get stolen before you even realize it. And here's the truth. If the enemy, if distractions, if negativity can control your first thought, they can control the whole day. But if you control that first thought, if you plant the right seed, the day has no choice but to grow in your direction. Some of you are thinking, that sounds too simple. That can't change my life. And that's the problem. You underestimate the little things. You think you've got to move mountains in the morning to change your life. But the truth is, it's the small, consistent, intentional decisions that build the life you want. 6 minutes may not sound like much, but you'd be surprised how much power you can pack into the first one. Let me make it real for you. Imagine two versions of you waking up tomorrow. One version rolls over, grabs the phone, scrolls, sees bad news, sees someone else's highlight reel, and already feels like you're behind. That version drags through the morning, trying to shake off a heaviness you can't explain. The other version, that version wakes up, sits up, and says, today I'm winning. That version breathes deep, speaks gratitude, declares victory before the battle even starts. That version walks into the day with their shoulders back and their head up, ready to move with purpose. Which one do you think is going to win? Which one do you think is going to build momentum? Which one do you think is going to create opportunities? The difference is not talent. The difference is not money. The difference is not luck. The difference is who owns the first thought. And I promise you, if you make this a habit, not once, not for a week, but every single day, you will start to see things shift. You will start to notice how problems that used to throw you off for hours now just glance off you. You will notice how your confidence grows, how your mood stabilizes, how your focus sharpens. And it all started with something so small that most people overlook it. Don't overlook it. Don't give it away. The first thought is yours. It belongs to you. And if you take it, if you own it, if you set your intention with power, the rest of the day will have no choice but to follow. The first 60 seconds are not a warm-up. They're the opening move. And if you get the opening move right, you control the game. I can now write key point 2 with the same flow so the speech keeps building energy without dropping the audience's attention. Would you like me to continue? The moment you lock in your first thought, you can't just sit there and let it fade away. You've got to activate it. You've got to get your body in alignment with what your mind just decided. Because I don't care how powerful your words are. If your body is moving like it's half dead, if your energy is dragging, your day will match that pace. You can't think like a champion and move like you're defeated. Listen to me. Energy is not something you wake up and hope you have. Energy is something you create. Too many of you roll out of bed like you're 200 years old, dragging your feet, rubbing your eyes, moving slow, and you wonder why you feel behind. It's not just mental, it's physical. Your body sets the tone for your mind just as much as your mind sets the tone for your body. They're connected. When you wake up and you start moving, when you get your blood flowing, when you take deep breaths, you're telling your system, we're awake, we're alive, we're ready to go. And you can do it in 2 minutes. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need equipment. You just need commitment. 2 minutes of stretching, push-ups, jumping jacks, squats, anything to wake up those muscles, to wake up that heart rate, to get oxygen into your brain. Because here's the truth. Your body responds to movement before it responds to motivation. You keep waiting for motivation to move you. You don't have to be an athlete to understand this. You don't have to be in perfect shape. But you do have to take control of your body. Because if you don't, your body will take control of you. And it's not just about health. It's about identity. People who move with purpose in the morning carry that purpose into everything they do. People who start the day strong finish the day stronger. I want you to test this. Tomorrow, when you wake up, don't just roll out of bed and drag your way into the kitchen. Get up and stretch. Take 10 deep breaths, not lazy breaths, but deep, controlled breaths that fill you with oxygen. Do 20 jumping jacks. Do 10 push-ups. Walk around the room with your shoulders back and your chest up, and then see how you feel. Notice the difference in your alertness, your clarity, your energy. You can't fake momentum. You've got to build it. And the first brick you lay is movement. If you start moving right away, your brain wakes up faster, your mood shifts faster, and your focus locks in faster. It's like telling the day, I'm here, I'm ready, let's go. And once you've said that with your body, your mind will follow. It's the same principle athletes use before a big game. They warm up, they jump around, they get the blood pumping. They don't just sit there waiting to feel ready. They make themselves ready. And that's exactly what you've got to do with your mornings. Warm up for life. Because if you step into the day cold, the day will run you over before you've even hit your stride. I know what some of you are thinking. I'm not a morning person. Let me be clear. That's a story you've been telling yourself. And the more you tell it, the more your body believes it. I'm not saying you've got to wake up at 4 a.m. But whenever you do wake up, you need to move like the best version of yourself would. Because if you start the day acting tired, you've already lost. But if you start the day acting strong, you've already won half the battle. Movement is a declaration. It's proof to yourself that you're in control. It's a way of saying, I'm not waiting for the day to wake me up. I'm waking up the day. And once you've built that kind of momentum, it's hard for anything to stop you. So tomorrow morning, make a choice. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel energized. Move first and let the feelings catch up. Because when you control your body in the morning, you take control of everything else. Now that you've taken control of your mind and you've activated your body, there's one more thing you've got to understand. What you put into your mind in the first few minutes of your day is either going to strengthen you or weaken you. There is no neutral. There's no doesn't matter. Everything you consume is either building you or breaking you, fueling you or draining you. The problem for most people is that before they've even had a chance to set their own focus, they let the world feed them whatever it wants. The phone comes out, the news gets turned on, social media starts scrolling, and boom. Now your brain is running on fear, comparison, distraction. You see someone's highlight reel and start feeling like you're behind. You read something negative and your energy drops. You see a problem you can't solve right now, and your mind starts worrying before you've even gotten dressed. You've got to protect your mental space like it's your home. If you wouldn't let just anybody walk into your house with muddy shoes, why are you letting any random voice, any random headline, any random post walk right into your mind first thing in the morning? That's your sacred time. That's your construction zone. That's when you're building the blueprint for your day. You've got to be selective about what enters. If you want your mind sharp, your spirit strong, your focus locked in, then in those first moments after waking and moving, you've got to feed your mind something that's aligned with your goals, your values, your identity. I'm talking about truth, wisdom, inspiration, perspective. It could be reading a page from a powerful book. It could be listening to a short motivational clip. It could be writing down 3 things you're grateful for and why. It could be praying or meditating on something that grounds you. What matters most is that you choose what you feed your mind before the world chooses for you. And here's why this is critical. Your brain is like a GPS. Whatever destination you put in at the start of the day, your brain will spend the rest of the day looking for turns that get you there. If you feed it fear, it will look for danger. If you feed it gossip, it will look for drama. If you feed it gratitude, it will look for blessings. If you feed it possibility, it will look for opportunities. I need you to really get this. Your attention is the most valuable thing you have. If you give it away in the morning to something random, you're giving away the steering wheel of your day. And too many people are driving through life with a passenger they didn't even mean to pick up behind the wheel. Think about a professional athlete before a big game. You think they're scrolling through social media reading random comments. No, they're reviewing plays, they're listening to music that gets their mind right, they're visualizing the win. They know that once the game starts, they need to be in peak mental condition. And your day is no different. Life is your arena. You need to be mentally ready to step into it. So ask yourself, what's the first voice you hear in the morning? Is it your own? Is it one that builds you? Or is it somebody else's agenda, somebody else's fear, somebody else's drama? Because if it's not feeding you, it's feeding off of you. I'll be real with you. There was a time in my life when I woke up and the first thing I saw was everybody else's life. I'd be scrolling, comparing, feeling like I wasn't doing enough, like I was already late, like I was already losing. And I carried that energy into my day without even realizing it. I didn't understand why I was so anxious, so distracted, so quick to get discouraged. But once I started owning those first mental inputs, everything shifted. Instead of waking up and seeing what the world wanted me to see, I started feeding myself what I needed. I read something powerful. I listened to something uplifting. I wrote down what I was going to accomplish and who I was going to be that day. And let me tell you, the days I did that, I moved differently. I saw solutions I wouldn't have seen before. I handled problems better. I had a sense of direction that carried me even when things got tough. This isn't just about being positive. This is about programming your mind to look for what you want instead of what you fear. It's about building mental armor before you walk into the battle of the day. And if you don't build that armor, don't be surprised when you get cut up by every little thing that comes your way. Some of you need to go on a mental diet. Stop letting just anything feed your thoughts, especially in the morning. Be ruthless about it. Be intentional. The same way you wouldn't put garbage in your body and expect to feel strong, don't put garbage in your mind and expect to think clearly. And here's the best part. You don't need an hour for this. You don't need to read a whole book. You don't need to listen to a 2-hour seminar. You can feed your mind something powerful in just a few minutes. The key is that it's intentional, and it's the first thing, because whatever you give your attention to first will have the most influence over how you think and act for the rest of the day. Imagine you've got a cup of water. That's your mind. The first drop you put in colors everything else that comes after. If the first drop is clean and clear, everything else you pour in has a better chance of staying pure. But if the first drop is muddy, it doesn't matter how much clean water you pour in later. The whole cup's going to be cloudy. That's why I keep saying, protect those early moments. They set the tone. They decide whether you're walking into the day heavy or light, scattered or focused, reactive or proactive. And if you want to win the day, you've got to win those first few minutes. So tomorrow morning, I want you to decide ahead of time, what's the first thing you're going to feed your mind? Don't wait until you wake up to figure it out. Decide tonight. Put the book next to your bed. Have the audio queued up. Have the journal ready with a pen. Don't leave it to chance, because chance will hand you distraction every single time. You are the gatekeeper of your mind, and the gate opens or closes with what you let in first. Keep the gate closed to negativity. Keep the gate closed to noise. Open it only to what makes you stronger. Because when your mind is strong, the day doesn't just happen to you. You happen to the day. Now we've set the mind. We've activated the body. We've fueled the spirit. But there's one more thing that locks it all in. One thing that takes your morning from motivation to momentum. You've got to decide, before the day even begins, the one win you're going to get today. I'm not talking about a vague hope. I'm not talking about, I'll try to get a lot done. I'm talking about a clear, specific, non-negotiable target that you will hit no matter what. See, the problem for most people isn't that they don't have goals. It's that their goals are floating in the air with no weight, no anchor. They start the day saying, I hope today is good, but they don't define what good means. And because they don't define it, the day defines it for them. They end up running in circles, busy but not productive, tired but not accomplished. When you decide on one clear win at the start of the day, you give yourself direction. You give yourself a reason to move with focus instead of drifting. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to build Rome in a day. But it does have to matter. It does have to mean something to you. Maybe it's finishing that project you've been putting off. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been avoiding. Maybe it's spending 30 uninterrupted minutes with your kids. Maybe it's going to the gym when you said you would. The size of the win isn't the point. The commitment to it is. Because when you commit to one win, you create momentum. And momentum is the most powerful force you can carry into your life. Momentum is why some people seem unstoppable. Because one win turns into another, and then another, until they're operating on a level most people only dream about. But that all starts with one decision, one commitment, one win. Now let me be real with you. Life will test you the moment you make that decision. The second you say, I'm going to get this done today, distractions are going to show up. Excuses are going to whisper. Comfort is going to call your name. This is why I said it's non-negotiable. You've got to make it so important to you that it's not even a question whether you're going to do it. I'm talking about that same energy you have when you know you've got to catch a flight. No matter what happens, you're going to be at that airport. You'll skip breakfast, you'll leave early, you'll work around traffic. Whatever it takes, you're getting on that plane. That's the same kind of locked in determination you need for your daily win. And here's what's powerful. When you finish that one win, even if the rest of the day gets messy, you walk away knowing you accomplished something that mattered. That sense of progress, that proof you kept your word to yourself, that's what builds confidence. And confidence is built by kept promises, not empty intentions. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, you strengthen the belief that you can rely on you. And that is priceless. Because when you know you can rely on yourself, you move through life differently. You don't wait for the perfect conditions. You don't depend on motivation. You don't fear challenges. You know that if you say you're going to do it, it's as good as done. But here's the flip side. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken that trust. And once that trust is gone, you start to hesitate. You start doubting. You start talking yourself out of things because deep down, you don't believe you'll follow through. That's why this daily win is so important. It's not just about what you accomplish. It's about the person you become by accomplishing it. Some of you are stuck in a cycle where every day blends into the next because you're never claiming a victory. You're doing a lot of things, but nothing's giving you that sense of, I moved forward today. You've got to break that cycle. You've got to start stacking wins one day at a time. And don't underestimate how quickly those wins add up. One win a day is 365 wins a year. Do you realize how much ground you can cover with 365 focused victories? That's how you change your life. Not in one giant leap, but in small, consistent steps you refuse to skip. I want you to picture this. It's the end of the day. You're tired. Maybe things didn't go perfectly. Maybe you faced some setbacks. But instead of feeling defeated, you feel solid, you feel grounded, you feel proud because you know you got the thing done that you said you would. That feeling right there, that's fuel. That's the thing that will get you up tomorrow ready to do it again. You've got to start treating your daily win like oxygen. You don't skip it. You don't delay it. You don't bargain with it. You make it a part of your identity. You don't just say, I'll try. You say, I do. And then you do. And here's the beauty. When you start stacking those wins, your confidence grows, your resilience grows, your standards grow. You start seeing yourself differently. You stop identifying with the version of you that talks big but acts small. And you start identifying with the version of you that moves, executes, delivers. That's when you become unstoppable. So tomorrow morning, after you've claimed your first thought, after you've moved your body, after you've fed your mind, I want you to ask yourself one question. What's my win today? Don't overthink it. Don't make it complicated. Just choose it. And then make it happen. Because if you own that one thing, if you finish that one thing, you've already won the day. And if you keep winning days, you'll start winning weeks. If you keep winning weeks, you'll start winning months. And before you know it, you won't just be starting your days better. You'll be living your life better. So decide, commit, execute, and end every single day knowing, without question, that you got the win you came for.